Question: what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear My Little Pony? Is it the children's cartoon show about colorful talking ponies and a little purple dragon living together in a village? Or is it a bunch of hairy adult men going to conventions dressed up as Rainbow Dash? It's definitely the second option for me, not gonna lie. Now, I wholeheartedly believe that as long as they're not hurting anyone with it, people should be able to enjoy whatever they want, no matter their age or gender. But because I didn't want to ruin the little amount of street cred that I had at the time, I never really got into My Little Pony myself. I was more of a Postman Pat or Thomas the Tank Engine kind of guy, you know? But for me, the first thing I think of when I hear the term My Little Pony is the insane amount of horror content that people on the internet made for the show. To be honest though, that's kind of the case with most franchises nowadays, at least for me. Like whenever Sonic gets mentioned anywhere, I don't think about my happy memories of playing Sonic CD as a kid, having a great time. No, I think of this monstrosity first. Or the other day, right? One of my colleagues was telling me about how his 4-year-old daughter is absolutely addicted to the show Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And then he asked me if I also used to watch Mickey Mouse as a kid. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to watch Mickey Mouse as a kid. You know what my favorite episode was? The old black and white one where Mickey fucking offs himself at the end. But I guess that's just what having unrestricted internet access during the early 2010s does to a person, you know? I mean, that was a pretty much guaranteed way to have all your favorite childhood franchises permanently ruined for the rest of your life. Then again, while they might be a little less likely to accidentally stumble upon creepypasta horror content, kids nowadays are getting what is basically Minecraft Rule 34 content recommended to them on YouTube Kids. So, you know, I guess we didn't really have it all that bad in retrospect. But anyway, I digress. My Little Pony is a franchise that has existed since the early 80s, but really started gaining mainstream popularity with the release of the animated series called Friendship is Magic, which came out in 2010. And while clearly being a show marketed towards children, especially little girls, it also quickly gained a different type of audience that was about as far from its intended demographic as you could possibly get: adult men. And women too, we can see you lurking back there. These people called themselves bronies, a term that still strikes fear into the hearts of many internet veterans who hear it. Now, most of these people simply enjoyed watching the show and talking about it with others online, and honestly, all power to them. But unfortunately, there was also a small minority of these people who took their whole enthusiasm for colorful ponies just a little too far, if you know what I mean. And they weren't exactly hiding it either.
I don't like where this is going.
These few outspoken weirdos quickly became the thing the brony community was known for online. And naturally, with the internet being the internet, it also quickly became a very popular online activity to troll and make fun of these people. Now, why am I telling you all this? Well, as an enjoyer of all things internet horror, this whole thing led to an interesting piece of internet horror history that, while fairly known, often doesn't get the credit that I believe it definitely deserves. And that is the creation of what is technically the very first EXE game. In January of 2011, the popular My Little Pony fan site Equestria Daily was created. Here you could do all the things you'd expect to be able to do on a fan site, like have discussions about the show, share fan art and fanfics with other users, and most importantly, share fan games. On April 3rd that same year, an unknown user shared a download link for a fan game simply called Luna Game, Luna being one of the characters from the show. Many unsuspecting users of the site downloaded this game, and upon booting it up were met with this: a seemingly innocent, low-effort game maker game. Now, I'm sure many of you, even if you've never even heard of this game before, already know where this is going. But it's important to note that this game was posted in April of 2011, 4 whole months before the release of the Sonic.exe creepypasta, and almost a year and a half before the creation of the Sonic.exe game. So this whole genre of games disguising themselves as an innocent fan game before suddenly turning all spooky wasn't really a thing yet. So without suspecting a thing, people started playing this game, in which you really couldn't do anything other than walk forward and jump. Which may sound very limiting, but unbeknownst to anyone at the time would later make up the entire gameplay loop of the critically acclaimed hit game Toy Story.exe. Regardless of how much the player moved in the game, after about 20 to 30 seconds of gameplay, one of 2 possible images would pop up on screen, while creepy, unsettling music played in the background.
So funny.
Okay, so quick little anecdote here. I of course had to play this game multiple times in order to record gameplay and get all the endings, and there are a total of 3 possible songs that can play during the jump scare, and for some reason, I recognized one of the songs when it first played, even though I couldn't remember where exactly I heard it before. So I looked the song up on YouTube and went through the comments to see if maybe anyone else had recognized it too, but I had no luck there either. So eventually I just gave up and accepted the fact that I was probably never going to figure it out. Until about a week or so later, I was lying in bed, pretty much completely forgot about it already at this point, when out of nowhere I had this grand realization. It suddenly dawned on me that this is the exact same song used as ambience music in Slendy Tubbies 1. Yeah, I have no idea what suddenly made that click for me, but I'm glad it did, because I never slept better after finally figuring that out. But anyway, back to the video. As soon as the image appeared on screen, the game would lock your cursor completely in place, making it impossible to close the game, even by using the task manager.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck!
Eventually though, the game would close on its own, and upon returning to their desktop, the player would find that the game created a bunch of junk files, which were all copies of that same creepy image used in the game, and a couple of text files, which were all called "The End is Nay." Get it? Nay? Because it's a horse? Now, in recent years, it has become fairly common for these types of games to start messing with the player's desktop. But like I said earlier, these EXE type games just weren't really a thing yet back then, let alone games that messed with your desktop like that. I guess the only game that even came remotely close to the concept of an EXE game at the time was the Scary Maze game. But even that was just a flash game that you played in your browser, and not something you actually had to download onto your PC, which the Luna game was. So many people who played the Luna game thought that it was some sort of computer virus, and began warning other users of the site not to download it. Word of the Luna game quickly spread on Equestria Daily, and on the very same day it was made, the post containing the game's download link was deleted, and the owner of the site announced that they would no longer allow links to fan games that required a download to be posted on the site, and that only links to games that could be played in browser would be allowed going forward. Now you might think that that would be the end of the Luna game. I mean, it was after all just a game created to troll My Little Pony fans, which given the amount of backlash it received on the site, I'd say it successfully did. So you'd expect the creator to simply have a laugh about it all and then just move on with their life, but they didn't. They made a sequel. 5 sequels even.
Bruh.
Because while the game, understandably, wasn't exactly received all that well back on Equestria Daily, the game did manage to gain its own little cult following. So the creator just kinda kept cranking these games out over the months that followed, resulting in a series with 6 official Luna game entries, with the last one, Luna Game End, being released on August 22nd, 2012. Only 9 days after the release of the original Sonic.exe game, which is of course the game responsible for creating the whole EXE genre. Now I would go over the rest of these games, but in all honesty, there's not a whole lot to talk about. They're pretty much all exactly like what you've come to expect from these types of games over the years. You walk right until something spooky happens, then you die, there's a screamer, and then the game closes itself. The only exception to this is the 5th one, where there's like a little fetch quest and a bit of dialogue with some of the other ponies, but honestly, besides that, there's not really anything all that noteworthy about the gameplay of these games. They're just your standard run-of-the-mill EXE type walking simulators, kind of like the critically acclaimed hit game Barney.exe.
Very angry.
But what the hell, boy?
But the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because most people often incorrectly credit Sonic.exe as being the very first of these types of games. And while it technically is the first EXE game, as Sonic.exe is literally where the genre got its name from, it wasn't the first to use this now established EXE formula. That honor goes to the Luna game. So even though it technically wasn't an EXE game in name, gameplay-wise it pretty much was. I mean, you might as well just call this My Little Pony.exe and it would fit right in with all the others. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this game for a bit, as I feel like a lot of people in the internet horror community, especially the younger ones, either don't even know about this game's existence at all, or simply don't give it the credit that it, in my opinion, deserves. So I felt obligated to put some well-deserved respect on Luna Game's name. Oh, and did I mention that the 4th game has a Ben Drowned reference for absolutely no reason whatsoever? Well, it does. I will put a link to the official Luna Game website in the description of this video, where anyone interested can download all of these games. And I highly recommend anyone who's never heard of this series before to go check them out for yourself, or at the very least watch one of the many playthroughs here on YouTube. I mean, even PewDiePie played it, you really can't miss it. As I feel like it's an interesting piece of internet horror history that often gets overlooked nowadays due to the popularity of Sonic.exe and the EXE game craze that it inspired. So yeah, a bit of a shorter video this time, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it nonetheless. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, then thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy some of my other videos as well, so be sure to check them out here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully, I'll see you guys in a future video. But for now, I'm out! Later, people.